Hi, women. My name's Karma, and welcome back to season 3 of the Free Birthing in Color movement. This is a space to hear the stories of women of color and Indigenous women sharing their experiences of living, working, and birthing in their power. If you feel like you have a story to share and would like to have your words and your voice amplified within this movement, please reach out to me. All information about submitting your story can be found within the show notes below or on the Free Birthing in Color Instagram page. The Instagram handle is at freebirthing_in color. Just send me a DM or find the submission forms within the profile. I look forward to hearing from you and making space for your experiences to be witnessed. And now I'm extremely grateful to have shared time and energy with our next guest. Here is her story. Hello, Alia. Welcome to the Free Birthing in Color movement. I am very excited that we are able to sit down and have this chat today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we can just get kind of right into hearing your stories if you want. And the first question that I love to ask is, what is your ancestry and lineage that you're passing down to your children?
Yeah. My ancestry lineage, so my father is the only thing we know is that he is Black and from America.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Northeast, is where like all of his family has been as far as we know. Like there's nowhere that we know from the South or like anyone traveled north. We don't know anything about that. And my mom is Puerto Rican, with heavy Spaniard influence.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's very fair skin, dark hair. My grandmother says we still actually have family in Spain that she could even contact.
Oh.
So, but we don't know about my mom's father's side. So, um, all that being said, what I am passing on to my children is that, we are indigenous to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because we are of color, we know that we are indigenous to the world. We are the original people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I am giving them.
Mm-hmm.
um, because I felt for a long time just so confused about like, what do you mean we don't know where we come from?
Mm-hmm.
Like we know we have some Taino Indian because all Puerto Ricans have that, but like
Mm-hmm.
what else? There's definitely more. So um we are indigenous to the world.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I love that. And it's true. It makes so much sense. We are the original peoples. And yeah, saying that you're indigenous to the world does very beautifully summarize that question. So thank you for saying that. Yeah. And the
For
next,
asking it.
yeah, I always get such different answers. So like I was saying before we started recording, um, yeah, I just love asking this question because there are so many ways that it can be answered, but it's also, there's so many ways it can be answered. And then all of the answers are just really a beautiful connection piece for all of the women and mothers that are coming from these different lines and lineages all around the world, that we can all find that connection in there. So yeah, it's always just
Yeah.
a fun thing for me. Amazing. So question number 2 I would love to ask is, where does your motherhood journey begin?
Oh, okay. So it's interesting. I I thought, oh, obviously it begins with my first child, but
Mm,
I'm gonna caveat to say I was very much mothering to my older brother
mm,
in our childhood. Like he would call me mini mom. He's 2 years
mm.
older than me, but I was like very much responsible for cooking dinner a lot of times and like making sure he was inside when the lights came on. And like my mom was working like 3 jobs and,
Okay.
she was a single mom. So I took on a very mothering role in our household
Mhm.
from a very, very young age. So then I was like thinking about that question. I was like, well, where did my mothering journey become like start? Because I mean, I've been a mom for as long as I just always felt like I was a mom to some, I was responsible for somebody else for so long. So
Hmm.
other than that, um, I would say, yeah, my first son, I was 17 when I got pregnant with him. Um, and I got pregnant with him. I was a senior in high school.
Hmm.
And um, yeah, that is where it all started. Do you want me to talk about his story or like,
Yeah, yeah, I would love
um,
that. I was just going to ask because you were so
okay.
young. I'm just assuming that it was, you're pregnant, so it's just go to the hospital. Like, what was that experience for you? Or were you kind of thinking, even though you were that young, that you wanted to have a home birth? Or what was your
So
feelings?
yeah, interestingly enough, I had very supportive family during that time.
Okay.
My mom and all her sisters, they all had kids, and her friends, they all had kids at like 16, 17 years old, and not in like a bad way. Like it
Hmm.
wasn't ever looked at as like, oh, you're too young to have a
Hmm.
kid.
Hmm.
So although she said she was disappointed, she was also just like, it's okay. Like
Hmm.
it's not the end of the world. Your life's not over. You're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Um, and so I was already set up to go to college on a full scholarship, and I had enough high school credits to graduate early and with honors if
Mhm.
I wanted to. So I was got pregnant my in the first like half of the school year. So I from my school they gave me a referral to a program called Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies. I don't know if it still exists. Um, was like a worker so
Oh, Alia.
a couple times a month, and she kind of like prepared you for all things. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. Could you just say that again? The
Oh,
from the
okay.
healthy mother's healthy thing because it
Babies.
yeah, it cut out.
Okay, yeah. So it was a program called Healthy Mothers, Healthy Babies, and they assigned you a caseworker, social worker person who would come in, and she would come a couple times a month and kind of like teach you about parenting, about what's going to happen, labor, like almost like a doula, but like a little bit more.
Mm.
um it was very beneficial
Hmm.
in preparing you to be a mom. Or
Hmm.
and I think she even included my son's father in some of those meetings, like he had to learn about parenting. It was nice that she talked about breastfeeding and like everything. Like she was basically like a doula,
Hmm.
except their role is not, they come to the hospital with you.
Okay.
um so yes, I went the traditional, well, traditional in America
Hmm.
route of going to the hospital. And I was actually induced without being told I was being induced. I don't
Mm.
even remember them saying Pitocin at
Yes.
all, like the word Pitocin, um, because I had some awareness of what could happen in the hospital. I took a Lamaze class with my mom,
Mm.
and like, so I had awareness of some of these things, but I just didn't know, like, I didn't know how to fully advocate for myself
Yeah.
because everybody was just being so nice.
Okay.
um, and I had went into preterm labor after um, graduation rehearsal. Like I graduated early, but I wanted to walk in my graduation.
Hmm.
Um, so that was like the following summer, and I did the rehearsal for the graduation, and it was like a lot of walking up and downstairs and all that. And so I went into preterm labor at 34 weeks,
Mm.
went into the hospital. They gave me a medication to stop it, but the medication they gave me that stopped the labor also did something to my heart. And in the hospital that I was at, there was no pediatric cardiologist. And because I was 17,
Mm.
the cardiologist there wouldn't see me. And
Oh,
then
wow.
I had to be transferred to a children's hospital, all for them to tell me, you're fine.
Oh,
Take it
gosh.
easy.
Right.
These last few weeks of pregnancy.
Mm.
Um, and then at 38 weeks, I went to a doctor's appointment, and it was right before 4th of July weekend. It was end in the morning, and I went in and they like hooked me up to some fetal monitors to see like if I was having contractions, which I had been having contractions for the whole time since I went into preterm labor. Like
Mm-hmm.
they were just kind of there. And so then from that appointment, it was a midwife in the doctor's office who said, "Oh yeah, you're in labor. You can go over to the hospital right now, right from here, and go have your baby today."
Mm.
And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And my mom drove me to that appointment, so I told her like, "Okay,
Mm.
guess today's the day." Like, so we went straight from the doctor's office across the street to the hospital. And then I got there and they were like, "Well, you're having contractions, but they're really irregular. Like, why don't you try walking for a little bit?" And I was just like, "Okay." So the mindset I had then was like, I need to do something to
Okay.
get to stay and have my baby.
Mm.
So I just took that like as an assignment of like, you need to get your contractions to be more regular. So I was like jogging the hallways in that hospital, like just trying to like
Wow.
keep things going.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, went through that and then made what they consider progress in my labor. And then they admitted me and they were like, "Oh, we're going to give you this medicine." I'm going to say they told me they were giving me Pitocin, but I didn't ever hear the word Pitocin. So what I think was told to me was, "We're going to give you this medicine to help keep your contractions going."
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I was there for, oh, like 20 hours or something ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was pretty much torture. The
Oh,
nurses kept
God.
asking me if I wanted an epidural. I had the mindset that I was going to have a natural birth. I definitely went in prepared for a natural birth. Like I said, I took a Lamaze class.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mom and my aunts were all there. She has two sisters. So it was her and her two sisters, and they all had natural births, and they were like, "You don't need pain medicine, like you got this," like,
Mm-hmm.
really cheering me on. The other side of that is that I have scoliosis. So the anesthesiologist told me when I went in for preterm labor that I literally cannot have an epidural, but
Okay.
the nurses kept asking me if I wanted one. So
Mm.
it was very, very torturous. At one
Yeah.
point, I yelled at everybody and asked everyone except my mom to just leave me alone. And I had headphones in and listening to like my iPod or something because this was like
Mm-hmm.
in 2009.
Yeah.
Um, and I just kind of zoned out until it was time to push.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I also I'm pretty sure I tried some narcotics and I hated that
Okay.
because I couldn't talk or pick my head up.
Mm.
Yeah. And and I got like one dose of that and was like, "Don't give me that ever again."
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know in the timeline where that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when it was time for him to come, my mom says the only way she could describe it is look like I was going through an exorcism because I went from like laying on my side,
Mm-hmm.
moaning and breathing through these contractions to like flipping over onto all fours in a very fast motion. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess because it was on the bed and all the wires and stuff, it looked pretty dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started shouting as loud as I could that I needed to poop. Like I was just like, I have to poop, I have to poop, I have to poop, like as loud as I could. Like I didn't know what else to say apparently.
Yeah.
And it didn't occur to me that that was obviously me needing to have my child.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was born very quickly after that.
Mm-hmm.
I think I maybe pushed like twice, and it was in the regular like lithotomy position. They had to like convince me to turn back over and
Mm-hmm.
um do the whole song and dance that they do. So
Yeah.
yes, that was my first birth. Um,
Wow.
and then he was I had no interest in even holding him after.
Okay.
Um, all I told them was I just want to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy he's healthy, but I really just want to eat.
Yeah.
Because my eating and drinking had been restricted that whole 20 plus hours that I was
Mm-hmm.
going through all of that from the doctor's appointment.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I didn't even like I like maybe held him for a second, but I know my mom was holding him
Mm-hmm.
after that. I just really did not care. I was
Right.
like, I just want food.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and then turned out every time I would try and nurse him, he just wouldn't wake up, and he was actually diagnosed with a rare intestine disease at like 24 hours old.
Okay.
um so that that was hello motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
um
Wow.
yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. And
We had a NICU stay after that,
oh, wow. Yeah, that's
and
intense.
lots of surgery,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a lot. It was a lot for me at 17,
Mm-hmm.
about to turn 18 at that point, but still just very young and like, but it's interesting now,
Mm-hmm.
um, looking back, I kind of didn't even give myself time to like realize that it was a lot. It was
Okay.
just like, okay, this is what's happening. What do I do next? What do I need to do? Like,
Yeah.
okay, my son is in the NICU. That means I need to pump my breast milk. That means I need to be there every day, all day, because I don't trust people
Mm-hmm.
with him. Like, I'm not leaving him for someone else to take care of him. It was just, yeah, it was a lot, but at the time I didn't feel what I would consider now, like how I feel stressed
Mm-hmm.
now. I don't remember ever like going to that place mentally. I was like, I need to be
Right.
happy for him. I need my energy, like good. I need to like, he needs me to be strong. Like
Mm-hmm.
it never like made me like I never got to that point of like, oh, this sucks. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
annoying, or like it never those things never crossed my mind like the way that I think they would might now.
Yeah.
Uh, and I don't know
Yeah.
if it was just like I was just young and I had energy and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, whatever's coming at me, like I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I
a
hear that
lot of that.
often with mothers that experience, something to the severity of having a baby with, something that's diagnosed that's very serious, and then the NICU stays, that they do just get into this mindset of, okay, this is what's happening, and this is what I need to do to be there for my child. Where, yeah, the feelings of, we could spin out and freak out and go into this state of immobility doesn't really happen, because then it's just like, well, I'm a mother now and this is what I need to do. And it just, that flip or that switch just kind of turns on for them. So I'm not surprised, even if you were 17 years old, or if that happened when you were 27, 37. I feel like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just that instinct of a mother just pops on, and you're just like, okay, it's go time. What do I need to do for my child to get through this kind of situation?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I haven't had, I'm a doula also at
Hmm.
this point now for a
Hmm.
while. And I, I haven't had too many clients with NICU babies or babies that have had NICU stays.
Hmm.
Um, but of the ones that I have, they were like super fortunate to be in a place where then you could like room in with
Mm.
your baby.
Oh, yeah.
Which I I'm like, thank goodness for some kind of progress in that area, because I
Yeah.
mean, the whole like you had to leave during certain times and wait in the waiting room or go down and get something to eat and then come back and like scrub in and do all these things, like the whole ritual of all of it was just uh,
Just torture.
disgusting is the best
Yeah.
word I have. It's so disgusting, like
Hmm.
just thinking about it. And yeah, it is torture for both the moms and the babies.
Yeah.
um and it made me want to be like a nurse though. Like I just
Okay.
like, I was like, these babies need to be, loved on. They don't need to be treated like
Hmm.
animals in cages.
Hmm.
Like just give them their feeding and keep it moving. I'm like, they need to be held for like hours. Like
Totally.
I was literally just sitting in a rocking chair, with my son, just rocking him with all his 20,000 tubes. I didn't care. I was just
Hmm.
like, I need to hold you.
Yeah.
But he was like the happiest baby.
Mm.
They were like, he's so well mannered. He's like, so calm tempered. Like he does, nothing bothers him. He's such a happy baby. He's never crying.
Mm.
That kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, because I'm here with him.
Exactly. He
Like
knows that
I'm
you're
supposed to
around.
be.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
He has that trust. But
Wow.
yeah, that was in 2009.
Mhm.
And then uh a series of unfortunate events unfolded between
Sorry.
2009 and 2011.
Can I just interrupt
Go
you
ahead.
before we get into that? Because I just have another two
Okay.
quick questions for this birth of your son.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
remember birthing your placenta at all?
I mean, I remember the doctor
Hmm.
guiding it out, but never like showing it to me.
Hmm.
Um, but I definitely remember having to push at some point
Okay.
a little to get
Yeah.
it out, but
Okay.
that's it.
That's it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty like
Yeah. And it was
standard.
probably whisked away somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
unfortunate. And then I don't know if this will lead into what you were saying,
Yeah.
the unfortunate events from 2009 to 2011, but how was your breastfeeding journey once your son finally did get out of the hospital? So either that ties into what you were going to say, or if it's different. Um,
Yeah, it doesn't tie in,
okay.
other than I exclusively pumped for 6 months. Um, but he had enough milk to get him almost to a year. We had a deep freezer
Mm.
full of breast milk.
Hmm.
I felt very strongly about like him only having breast milk. Also, he had an intestine disease.
Yeah.
So his large intestine was non-functioning. So he had
Mm.
a ostomy bag for the
Mm.
first 18 months of life,
Wow.
just so he could get a little bit bigger and stronger. And the surgeon that did his first surgery, um, he did not feel comfortable um, performing the bigger surgery that needed to be done on my son, because he had never seen a case as severe as my son. And
Mm.
so he ended up finding a surgeon in Canada who, like, one of his colleagues had studied under, and he specialized in the kind of surgery that needed to be done. So he was flying down from Canada to South Florida at the end of
Oh.
2010 to perform like my son's big surgery. So all that time, well, the majority of that time he had breast milk, and
Mhm.
I just exclusively pumped around the clock for 6 months.
Wow.
Like it was my job because it was my
Mhm.
job.
Mhm.
um,
Wow.
yeah, it was it was a time.
Mhm. I believe it. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I did try to latch him
Mhm.
at least a handful of times.
Mhm.
It was just so painful.
Mhm.
Um, and he would get all frustrated, and I just did not have anyone that was like, pushing it. They were like, "You're pumping, you're fine.
Mhm. Yeah.
If you plan on, you could always just keep pumping if you're okay with it. Like
Mhm.
if you know, you don't have to. He doesn't have to latch for you to continue to provide him breast milk." Um, so,
Yeah.
but they did say that it was like the best thing for him to have breast milk.
Okay.
They were very supportive of that the whole way.
Mhm.
Uh, I think it was mostly because he had an intestine disease, and they were like, obviously, that's going to be the better thing for him.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Wow.
so, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
But the series of unfortunate events that I was leading into was in, so he had that surgery, the big surgery with the doctor from Canada, and then the following year, we were involved in a very bad car accident um, where he suffered a brain injury from the car
Oh,
accident.
oh gosh.
And yeah, he lost his ability to like walk and talk and pretty much do anything. So he still hasn't like fully recovered from that. He can walk with a walker. He doesn't have words that he uses. He has sounds, and he
Mhm.
can say "yeah" very clearly.
Mhm.
But other than that, he doesn't talk. And yeah, he's pretty much um, permanently disabled from that car accident when he
Mhm.
was just 2.5.
Oh.
Um, so then I got to have even more hospital experience and time with the medical, because like once he had that big surgery, we didn't really have to follow up with many doctors. Like he was pretty good to go. But
Mhm.
then it was like, I don't know, less than a year later, that we got into this car accident. And so it was like more time in the medical system, more time dealing with doctors, learning about medications, learning how to advocate, um,
Mhm.
trying to be his full-time caregiver um, after. And yeah, it was just a ton of that. And then
Mhm.
um, because of that, we put him in like a special needs preschool
Mhm.
program. Um, this was in Georgia. In Atlanta is where I was for a large part of this time.
Mhm.
um, and we put him in a special needs preschool, and I met a mom there who was in nursing school, and I had done some of my schooling for nursing. And she was like, "Oh, I'm going to this retreat to learn how to teach these breastfeeding classes." And she sent me like this beautiful
Mhm.
invitation email for, and it was just like, and it was at the farm, which I had kind of heard about or knew about. And I was just like, "Oh, looks so cool. Like I could learn how to teach breastfeeding classes." And I was saying, I went into it thinking, "Oh, I can learn how to teach these breastfeeding classes and it will
Mhm.
look good on my like nursing resume
Yeah.
whenever I do finally finish nursing school." And I went to the farm in Tennessee where Ina May Gaskin lived and practiced, or still lives and practice.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out there was a profession called a doula, and like lactation consultants and all these like wonderful women who support other women around pregnancy and birth and
Mm-hmm.
postpartum. And I literally never went back to college after that trip.
Oh,
I
wow.
was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is, I don't even, I didn't learn how to teach those breastfeeding classes. I retook that training online virtually
Mhm.
like a year later to actually learn how to teach the course. I mean, I did so much self discovery during that trip, just so much work on myself. Um,
Mhm.
I, I took a whole left turn, right turn. I don't know. I took a different path from that point. I was like, I know what I'm supposed to do with my life. Like
Yeah.
this, being a nurse is not it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And then I did a doula training, and I did more doula trainings, and
Mhm.
I traveled to like Texas for a couple trainings, and we hosted so I had a doula business partner then, and we hosted Wapio
Mm.
to do a doula training
Yeah.
in Atlanta. And
Mm.
so after we hosted Wapio and I did that training, I was like, oh, if I ever get, whenever I get to have more babies, like I'm totally just doing it by myself. Like that is how you're supposed to, like, it just, there was never a question in my mind after that. I was like, okay, I know exactly how these babies will be born whenever they come. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it was just like, and anytime I was dating someone after that, I was like, look, I want more kids and this is how I want to have them. And like, I don't know how you feel about that, but you will have no say in that, just so you know. um,
I
yeah,
love that.
it was, yeah. So then fast forward, it would be, I think my oldest was 11 when I had my middle son.
Mm.
Um, and I had gotten married and then got pregnant a month later.
Mm.
So in 2019, I got married, and we got pregnant a month after we got married. And then I had an appointment with a home birth midwife friend just to get some blood work because I was like, I know I need proof of pregnancy, so let's just do that.
Yep.
Um, and then I had a completely wild pregnancy, other than me occasionally going to Publix grocery store and getting my blood pressure taken just to
Mhm.
feel like I was being responsible.
Mhm.
I also got a Doppler thinking I might use that. I think I used it twice, if that, maybe
Yep.
once, to
Mhm.
listen to his heartbeat. But I was like, no, he's in there. I feel him. We're
Yeah.
good. And then um I'm trying to think about what else was going on during his pregnancy. Well, um, it was 2019 into 2020, so
Okay. Mm.
the great uh I don't even know what to call it, psychosis
Yeah.
of the world. But it's interesting. It is very interesting to hear more and more people talk about that time, because we live in Charleston, South Carolina now, and since
Mhm.
then, and it was like normal everyday life here
Okay.
unless you were participating. So
Right.
it was like I could go to the grocery store as a normal person, not follow the rules, not play the game, and
Mhm.
nobody said anything.
Mhm.
But if you chose to participate, you're welcome to. Like it was
Mhm.
very much like you could do whatever you want in,
Mm.
I would say 90% of places here.
Okay.
Um So that was while I was pregnant with him. And the other thing I did was some chiropractic care towards the end, maybe
Mm-hmm.
like in the third trimester. Um, I saw a chiropractor. Um, and you want me to talk about his birth now?
Yeah, yeah.
um, okay. So yeah, that was my first free birth. We lived on the Air Force base at the
Okay.
time.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like their own little, if you call 911 from there, you get like the base police thing,
Yeah.
dispatch thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like, okay, if there was ever an emergency, like I feel like we'd get a hold of somebody quick enough.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me that one time though, like, did you feel like you wouldn't have access to emergency care because the base is pretty secure? Like, they have to go through a whole gate to get on base and all that. But I just never even considered it
Mm-hmm.
as like I'm going to need emergency care.
Mm-hmm.
um, so my husband at that time, we planned on I wanted to have a water birth. And I knew like he would need, I think he said a full hour to set everything up, like to
Okay.
fill the pool and like do all that. We got a birth pool. And at the time he was working what they call um shift work. Like
Mm-hmm.
his shifts changed every week. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he would be on day shift, sometimes he would be on, they call it mids, which is like the evening into like, I don't know, midnight ish. And then sometimes he would be on overnights. So his schedule was all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But on the my water started leaking very, I don't even want to call it a leak. It was like a trickle one morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm just walking down the steps and I was like, oh, that was something.
Yeah.
Definitely not pee. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nothing else happened that day. Cool. The next morning, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Got up, walking down the steps, a little trickle. I was like, okay, is it gonna happen soon? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Is more water going to come out? Is something going to happen that day? Nothing
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
um, and so then the third morning, I woke up, same thing, some trickle of something happened, and then um, I would say at like 11-ish, I felt some contractions starting to happen that, excuse me, that felt a little bit stronger than
Mm-hmm.
like the normal crampy feeling I had felt for all of my life, like third trimester basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I was like, oh, okay, this feels like a real one. Like we're really gonna go somewhere today. Let's see what happens. My husband was already at work. He was on day shift
Okay.
at the time. So I knew he would get off of work around 5.
Yeah.
The thing is with his job in the military, he's Navy, he's a nuclear engineer, so they can't bring their phones or anything into the building.
Okay.
So if I need to get a hold of him, I have to call this one number. They
Mm-hmm.
have to find him.
Yep.
Once they find him, he has to call me back. Once he calls me back and I tell him I need him to come home, he has to go find someone else to relieve him and
Oh.
then he can leave.
Okay.
So I had to keep that in mind. But I realized I started having some contractions like in the afternoon, 11, 12, somewhere around there. I was on the phone, one of my friends, just bouncing on my ball, going about my day. She said she couldn't even tell that I was having any at all. when
Okay.
I told her later that we had had the baby, she was
Mhm.
like, "It didn't seem like you were having conjoined." I was like, "I was." So then I just kind of went about my day. My older son was in school, so he got off the school bus um that afternoon, and I like I said, I was just kind of going about my day. And then it was like, I want to say around 3
Mhm.
when they were like getting
Mhm.
closer and stronger. And I was like, oh no, if I call him now, like how long is this going to be a thing before he has to come home? Which I could just wait, right? He gets off at 5. I'll just text him. I
Mhm.
text him. I said, when you see this, call me. Don't stop anywhere on your way. Just come straight home or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, and my thought process was, okay, I text him. Now I'll just lay down and let it calm down. If I use gravity, it's gonna go faster. So let me just try and take a little bit of a nap.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I did take a nap. Um, and he called me when he got up, and I was like, okay, as soon as you get here, as soon as I stand up, like it's gonna be go time. Like things are things are gonna be going. And he was like, okay, I'm on my way. Later found out he definitely stopped and got like gas or something. I don't know. He said he did not come straight home.
Uh-oh.
um, he was taking his sweet time. But when he did come home, I got up out of the bed and went into the shower, like, and sat on a exercise birthing ball
Mhm.
in the shower while he set up the birth pool and stuff.
Mhm.
And that was very nice. And the only request I had for my labor was like loud music on
Okay.
the sound bar. Like we had our dress, we put the birth pool in our bedroom, so it was like our bed, the birth pool, then the dresser, then like a
Mhm.
little walkway into our bathroom.
Mhm.
And I just wanted like this sound bar with like really loud music,
Mhm.
um but not like uh fast music, just like
Yeah.
really chill,
Yeah.
like swaying music. I think that labor I listened to mostly like Lauryn Hill
Nice.
and Erica Badu, and just
Yeah.
like dancing, but like hip circles on my birth ball in the bathroom, and like
Mhm.
walking back and forth from the bathroom to the birth pool, like deciding. But it wasn't long. It was he filled up the pool,
Mhm.
and then he went downstairs to feed my older son dinner,
Yeah.
and I was just upstairs laboring. And like I was going back and forth from the birth pool to the bathroom, um, dancing, swaying, and then I finally got in the pool. And when I got in the birth pool, I thought I looked crazy. Like I felt like I was flailing around the birth pool. He was like, "No, you look pretty graceful." And I was just like, I felt so out of control. Like I felt like I looked like really ridiculous. Like I it just felt like I just could not like catch my feet underneath me. I don't know.
Okay.
I felt like I just was like swimming. I'm very small. I'm 5 foot.
Okay.
Um, like I'm just petite. And in the birth pool, it just felt so big. uh, the water felt big around me.
Mm.
So it just felt like I had all this space to like literally swim in there. But he said it didn't look like that from the outside. So um I kind of I think I vocalized a little bit that I felt a little out of control, and
Mm.
I needed to like center and like get back into whatever.
Yeah.
I can assume now, looking back, that was probably like a transition moment where I was just like
Yeah.
feeling so out of control.
Yeah, probably.
And then yeah, I attempted to check myself. Um, and I was like, I don't know, I feel something. I definitely felt like a bag of waters. And then
Mm.
after I attempted to check myself, the next contraction, that bag of waters broke. And I was like, oh, there's the water. Yep, that was that. Um, and then I was just kind of he was up by the on the edge, sitting on the edge of the bed now. And I was
Mhm.
just kind of like leaning over the side of the birth pool, um, talking to him in between contractions, breathing through the other ones. And then the water broke, and like, I don't know, within the next 5 or 10 minutes, I was like biting the handle on the birth pool and like panting
Mm.
to try not to like resist pushing, but
Mm.
also like it was just so intense.
Mm.
So it was kind of like a, but like biting the handle on the birth pool.
Mhm.
He was like, um, kind of like leaned over, holding me under my arms a
Yeah.
little,
Mhm.
like holding me up a little bit. And I asked him to like, I needed one of my hands, and
Mhm.
I reached down and I felt my son's head, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh no, it's too big. It can't come out. It can't come out. And then obviously it can't comes out. um, and then the rest of his body comes out, and I was kind of like on my knees,
Mhm.
like up against the side. So I pulled him up in front of me and I put him on my chest. I sat back for a second, but
Mhm.
then like I picked him back up, and he was he didn't look concerning, but he was quiet.
Mhm.
And then I was a little bit concerned. So we had some blankets, and I just was like trying to keep him warm
Mhm.
and like stimulate him a little bit. And I was asking him, like, talk to me,
Mhm.
tell me you're okay.
Yeah.
Say hello. I'm happy to see you. Um, but he didn't really make any noises. So
Okay.
then I don't know, I don't remember if I gave him a breath or not,
Mhm.
but I do remember we kind of like laid him on the side of the birth pool on one of the blankets,
Mhm.
and I like rubbed his chest a little bit, and I was like, I need you to make a sound. Like, you have to do some kind of sound.
Mhm.
Okay? Like, wake up, tell me you're here. I got a little bit forceful with him.
Yeah.
And then he went, and that was it. That was the only sound he made. And I just like scooped him back up, and I was like, okay, thanks, thank you for letting me know.
Mhm.
Um, and then yeah, he was here, and he was just so calm. Like, he was just like, I'm trying to chill. I don't know why you're trying to get me to do all this. um, but yeah, and then we had a friend who was uh asked if she could just come over. She only wanted to witness somebody other than herself give birth.
Mm.
And I told her, as long as you can be here and I don't see you or hear you,
Yeah.
you're welcome. If you feel like taking pictures, I would appreciate them, I'm sure. But if you can just be like invisible person,
Yeah.
you can come. But she got to our house like as soon as he was coming out. Like, she
Okay.
walked in the front door and like upstairs as soon as he was already like pretty much in my hands.
Mhm.
And she quietly just witnessed us trying to like figure it out, whatever he
Mhm.
was, why he was being so quiet.
Mhm.
And then she started taking pictures after I like put him back on my chest.
Aw.
um yeah. So we have pictures of that.
Yeah.
And then my husband like called my mom and his mom, and he was like on
Mm.
FaceTime with both of them. And we
Oh.
were just, me and him were hanging out in the pool, and I latched him
Mm-hmm.
while we were still in the birth pool. And then it was maybe like 20 or 30 minutes later where I felt like, okay, I need to like get up or do something with my placenta.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I kind of like got in a lunge-ish position and pushed it out into a bowl. And then I was like, okay, that's out. Now I'm ready to get out.
Mm, yeah.
Um, so I passed my son to his father with the placenta in the bowl next to him, and I got up and I went and took a quick shower,
Mm-hmm.
like just a rinse off, feel kind of normal-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And then we sat on the bed, and we weighed him. We measured his length.
Mm-hmm.
I think he nursed a little. He went to sleep, and then I went into the bathroom to look at my placenta, and my plan was I was just going to cut it up into pieces
Mm-hmm.
so my husband could put it in the freezer
Yep.
so he could give me placenta smoothies. So I did that real quick, and then I had something hanging out of me, and I was like, "What is this? And why won't it come out? And what? Like, it's not my placenta. My placenta was complete. I was a placenta encapsulation specialist for
Mm.
years. I know what a complete placenta looks like. Like, what is hanging out of me though? So I got on one of Heather Baker's free birth groups on Facebook, and I was like, "Has this happened to anybody? I think it's just like a piece of the sac is stuck. What can I do?" I called my I had a friend who was a I think she ended up doing like a birth assistant course. Like
Mm.
she became a birth assistant, but she was an L&D nurse. And I was like, in the
Mm.
hospital, what do y'all do when this happens? And she's like, usually they just reach in and pull it out. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I was like, it feels like if I pull on it, it's pulling my uterus down. My
Uh-huh.
cervix feel is coming just right down with it. Like I'm not gonna just pull.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the Heather Baker ended up messaging me on Facebook and was like, "Hey, it sounds like this is what's going on. Basically, you've got some membranes stuck and you need your cervix to open back up and release them. Or what sometimes works for people is if you use one hand to kind of support your cervix and tilt it at an angle, and then use the other hand and wrap the whatever's hanging out, the membranes around your fingers and slightly bear down
Mm.
and give a little bit of tension, and it should release." And then it did, and I was like, okay,
Okay.
that worked. Whew, hallelujah. I just
Yeah.
She was like, you she also did say you could leave it and wait for you to have, when as you have some cramps and stuff, the after pains and all that, it should come out.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, as long as you don't have a temperature or anything, like you should it should be fine to wait if you want to wait. But I just, in my mind, I was like, I don't want this hanging between my legs. It feels weird. I
Yeah.
know it's there.
Yeah. You just want to get
If
it
I didn't
out.
know it was there, yeah, if I didn't know it was there, it wouldn't have been a problem. But I totally knew it was there, and I was like, I just want it out. Like I want
Mm-hmm.
to go to sleep and like just actually sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So once I got it out, then I just went and laid down with my husband and my baby, and we
Oh.
went to sleep.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
it was. I I I feel like it was just so like, you know, it was a normal day. We had a baby, and then we went to bed at night because it was just like
Totally.
times like he got off of work, we had a baby. I think we ate some food, And then we went to sleep.
Yeah, totally.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that was great. That was easy. He goes, birth is boring. That's his like thing now. He's like, I don't know why. This is his first time ever experiencing a birth.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't see why people, make a fuss or like,
Hmm.
uh, you know, people's normal reaction. He's like, I don't understand why people like
Yeah.
make such a big deal about it. It was very boring. And he's like, I had nothing to do. You pretty much just did everything. So
Yeah,
I was like, but you were there and I knew you had my back if I needed you.
totally. He got to witness it. And
um
how beautiful is that that he gets to say, like, oh, birth is
yeah.
just boring. There was, I didn't have to do anything. You birthed our baby, and then that was it. I love that.
It is beautiful. It is so beautiful. I will agree. It is beautiful. The hard part with that is that he has colleagues and I am a birth worker still, and I
Mm,
will like be talking to people about their birth stories,
mm,
and he is a very much um a he doesn't hold back. He just says
okay.
what's on his mind.
Okay, yeah.
And I will be here like trying to like validate somebody and their experience, and he's
Mm.
just like, no, you could have done that way easier.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, oh my god, this is
Oh.
um yeah. So it's a blessing. It's great. It's wonderful, but also it's like
Mm.
I need you to learn how to put a filter on sometime.
Yeah, totally.
Unless somebody asks. If somebody asks, you can tell them. You can tell them
Hmm.
all the things, tell them how boring it is, tell them how you never felt 1 ounce of fear or
Hmm.
anxiety through the whole process. You can tell them all those things, but
Yeah.
um yeah, if they ask.
Aw.
And my postpartum, I actually did experience some um mild prolapse
Okay.
after. I don't know. I feel like it was always there
Mm.
after my first birth. I feel like I
Okay.
had some a little bit of prolapse after my first son, and it just never. I never did anything about it. I never knew about it.
Right.
I never had any awareness of it,
Hmm.
but it was definitely more obvious after my second son. So at like I want to say 5 weeks postpartum, I went to start uh, pelvic floor physical therapy.
Hmm.
And my pelvic floor physical therapist was like, "You're so in tune with your body." I don't usually have people coming to me this soon after birth. Like,
Mm.
you haven't even gone to the to a doctor yet. I was like, well, I didn't go to a doctor at all, and
Mm.
all that. But she was like, it's so amazing how aware you are of what's going on
Yeah.
inside of you.
Hmm.
Um, so I started pelvic floor physical therapy like right immediately after,
Yeah.
and some belly binding, but not too much because like if you put too much pressure, then it
Hmm.
can make prolapse things worse. So I just did what kind of felt good. It did feel
Hmm.
good to have that like tightness some days.
Yep.
Um, yeah. And we had a little bit of a breastfeeding struggle. The first 2 weeks was rough.
Mm.
Um, he had a tongue and lip tie. He
Okay.
still has it. But um, I kind of I went to a couple lactation appointments, and then they were like, "Well, it's there, but like it's stretchy. It's fine. It like it. You could do something about it if you want to. You could leave it. Like."
Hmm.
And I just was like, I'll just work with him. I think I used a nipple shield whenever like my nipple got sore within those
Hmm.
first 2 weeks, and then
Mm.
at some point I transitioned off of it.
Mm.
Um, and he nursed forever
Okay.
after that. Like it was like a hard 2 weeks. And I don't know if it was his tongue tie or that like it was just all so new, and I didn't
Right.
know what it was supposed to feel like or what it could feel like. And
Mm-hmm.
I just knew like it wasn't supposed to hurt really,
Yeah.
really bad to the point where my
Mm-hmm.
nipple felt sore.
Yeah.
And so it was a lot of like taking him off, giving it a break, trying again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he always seemed fine. Like he wasn't real fussy about it.
Yeah.
So um, I wasn't really stressed.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in a little pain
Yeah.
because it hurt for a
Yeah.
little bit.
Right.
Um, yeah, and then when he was 6 months old, we got pregnant.
Again. Okay. Before you go into that
Yeah.
story, what did you
Yeah.
do with this placenta now that you were able to keep this one because you had this baby at home?
Yeah. Yeah, I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. And what we did was I put it in little I put about 2 inch pieces in little Ziploc bags and put them in the
Right.
freezer. So a couple times a day, my husband would make me a smoothie with it in there.
Right.
Um, I also, oh, my postpartum plan was not to leave my bedroom for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, not leave my house for 2 weeks.
Nice.
So the whole time I was in my bedroom, he was bringing me like breakfast, lunch, dinner, smoothies, and everything upstairs. Because I just didn't want to have to do anything for at least
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks.
Nice.
Um, and so, yeah, he makes the best smoothies. Also, I suck at making smoothies, so
And
I don't know what it is. I was like, he's.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, I don't know what it is. He's like showed me how to make them, but mine never taste as good. So
Hmm.
I don't know. It's the love in there, apparently.
Totally. And before you actually like cut the placenta to have it so you could consume it, how long did you keep it attached to the baby? And did you just like cut it, or did you burn the cord, or did you have a lotus birth?
Yeah, we it was maybe about an hour or two
Okay.
after, and
Hmm.
I bought just a regular clamp,
Okay. Yeah.
um like the little plastic clamp, and we cut it with scissors. And
Mm.
um I yeah, I just cut it up right
Mhm.
there in the bathroom, and then he took it
Nice.
downstairs. But we didn't do
Mm.
anything special. I only liked the clamp because I knew
Mm.
after like a day or so I could just take it off and it would be like completely sealed.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I wouldn't have to worry about it at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have to think about it. And that was all we did for the
Nice.
cord. We didn't Yeah, we just left it until we
Hmm.
were ready to deal with it, and then when we were ready to deal with it, like he cut
Hmm.
it. And
Perfect.
um yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I love that. And I,
So
oh, sorry. I was gonna say I love that. That's what you
um
did, and that you
it's okay.
consumed it as well. That you actually, intentionally consumed your placenta. Because women talk about doing it, and some say they just have one or two pieces kind of straight after birth. But yeah, I like that you had that dedication and you really did do it.
So the thing is, I was processing placentas for women for years, and what
Mm-hmm.
I noticed
Mm.
was that the women who I started making these, I would call them smoothie packs, where I would like cut it up and put it in Ziploc bag, but with like fruit and everything already in there, and they just had to
Mm.
add like if they wanted yogurt or whatever liquid they wanted to put with it, or if they wanted to add stuff, but it was just kind of like a convenient way
Mm.
that it was already prepared. And I went from making placenta pills for people to then these smoothie packs because
Mm.
I started doing like half and half. And I noticed the women who had these smoothie packs, like, I mean, their energy was like through the roof. Like, they were like, I don't even feel like I had a baby. And like, they were like, I feel great. I have so much energy. Like,
Mm,
and then the women who had the capsules, I mean, they weren't bad off, but they also
mm,
weren't like, this dramatic
yeah.
difference of like, my bleeding stopped sooner. I have no like
Mm,
no I have no issues with my milk. Like, they were just,
mm-hmm.
there was such a dramatic difference that I saw in the women I was working with providing placental services,
Yeah.
that I was like, oh, I'm definitely eating the whole thing.
Wow.
I'm consuming it. I don't care how weird it sounds. Like, I've seen the difference in what these women look like, feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole energy is just completely different when they consume their placenta, like, as quickly as possible, is
Right.
what I would say. So
Okay.
however you can get the most of it in you the fastest is, like, any person I talk to, I'm like, you should do that. Just whatever feels good for you, do that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I could say that too, that like I felt really good overall.
Mm-hmm.
In my postpartum, I truly felt like a postpartum bliss
Mm,
that time around.
mm,
Um, where like I was being completely taken care of, and I just felt so nourished and nurtured, and yeah,
mm,
supported.
mm.
Um, and I felt good. I
Yeah.
just I felt really, really good.
I love that.
And then yeah. So, I was of the belief that if you're exclusively breastfeeding, you haven't had a period, you probably aren't going to get pregnant, right? Like, isn't that especially not within the first 6 months of just having your baby.
Yeah.
I was like, I think nature kind of, wouldn't intentionally do that to me. Yes. And then I had like spotting. I wouldn't call it like a period. I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay.
Mm,
It didn't feel like a period. And then the month after that, I did get pregnant. So,
okay.
my son, my second son was only like 6 months old. Um, and yeah, and I had promised my husband that whenever we had another child, I would at least find out the gender, because he did not
Mhm.
like not knowing the gender. And I was like,
Okay.
I guess like it's a blood test at this point.
Hmm.
Um, we could do that. I don't mind that as far as testing. And then so I made an appointment just like at the regular OB, because it's
Hmm.
covered by insurance.
Hmm.
And they were like, well, we have to do a some kind of a dating ultrasound. And I was like, I really don't want an ultrasound. So, but I do want the blood test to know the gender.
Hmm.
So the compromise I'm willing, I said the compromise I'm willing to make is, if you think you can get whatever you need from this ultrasound in less than 2 minutes, I will allow it.
Right.
At the 2 minute mark, you have to be done. And I mean, she was so fast. She got it in like less time than I even gave her.
Hmm.
Maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I think I gave her 3 minutes and she did it in like less than 2 minutes. It was
Okay.
so fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you so much for like respecting that, and she was like, yeah, no problem. So then I had technically two doctor's appointments, because like you had to do one to like establish that you're pregnant and whatever. And then you had to do another one for the actual blood test to be
Hmm.
done.
Okay.
So with that pregnancy, I had those two doctor's appointments, and then I messaged her through like the little medical portal, and I was like, I'm having another home birth this time. So I something medical should arise, I could um, contact you.
Hmm.
And she just was very supportive. She was like, "Yeah, good luck. I hope it all goes well. Lots of women around here free have home, so you should be good to go. Let me know if you need anything."
Hmm.
And that was that.
Wow.
And then I did another wild pregnancy. Um, this one I barely did any chiropractic care. I did continue with my pelvic floor physical therapy throughout the pregnancy though,
Okay. Yeah.
um, which was super, super helpful.
Mm.
Um, with, like I said, some sporadic chiropractic in there too. Um, and it was it was fairly easy of a pregnancy. I will say I didn't enjoy it as much
Okay.
because I had a toddler who
Yeah.
was still nursing, and then my milk dried up at like, I don't know, somewhere around 13 weeks, and
Okay. Mm.
he would just he would want to dry nurse, and I would like set a timer and ball my fists up and try not to like
Mm.
throw him off of me because it was just so painful nursing
Oh.
him through my pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was kind of the worst. We actually ended up having to use like donor milk and
Okay.
like supplement with some donor breast milk,
Mm-hmm.
and then we once we ran out of donor breast milk, I think he was like almost a year old, so then we were giving him raw goat milk,
Mm-hmm.
and just until my milk came back. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I know it's gonna come back once the baby's here. So
Yeah.
um then he can have that. It was just like, all right, we gotta wait it out. Um so after, yeah, I mean, I nursed him. That was the worst part of that pregnancy, was just like
Mm-hmm.
the dry nursing.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that does not
Um
sound fun at all.
yeah, I feel like if it was just for like 1 or 2 months, I think it wouldn't have been so
Mm-hmm.
uh annoying or
Mm.
frustrating or all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just, it felt like it was going to be forever that he was just nursing. And I mean, he was so like persistent and determined to like
Mm.
continue to nurse. So
Yeah.
um and I didn't feel good if I was to tell him no. Like, he was still a
Mm-hmm.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
most of that time he was still under 1 year old.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah. He, um
Yeah.
what else about Samara's pregnancy? We found out she was a girl.
Mm.
And that blood test, oh man, they send you like this little video to announce like the gender of the baby. I was just bawling my eyes. I was like,
Oh.
they real that video makes you like, it sends you on this like emotional roller coaster with
Aw.
the music and like I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it made me so emotional. And then like thinking, oh my gosh, I'm having a girl this time. Like,
Mm.
I've never had a girl before. I've never
Mm-hmm.
even thought about, when we didn't know the gender of my second son, I never even thought about like how serious I feel like having a girl is.
Okay.
Oh no, my battery's on like 10%. Um, I just feel like there's so much I don't know, I don't know if it's pressure or like
Mm.
I'm like I just want everything to be good for her. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, um I want her to have, I'm gonna turn down the brightness over here on my computer screen.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll help.
Mm.
Sorry. But yeah, just having a girl made me think about a lot more things than I have
Mm-hmm.
ever thought about in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, it felt like what is the word I'm looking for? Responsibility, but in like the best way, like an
Yeah.
honor,
Yeah.
like it was just like, okay, I get to I get to do this the
Mm-hmm.
best possible way that I can imagine.
Yeah.
Um, raising a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
I get to do it.
Yeah.
um, so yeah, her pregnancy was pretty straightforward. Um, the whole time I thought she was so big.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I felt big. I felt big. Um, and then towards the end of my pregnancy, I was just like ready to be done being pregnant. The nurse, the nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, before I start talking about her birth story, could we pick this back up,
Yeah.
or would that not work?
No, no, that's totally fine. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just pause the recording.
Okay, I'm gonna.
All right, there we go.
Okay. Um, so yeah, towards the end of my pregnancy with her, I was very much done.
Mm. Mm.
I I did not want to be pregnant anymore. Um, I just felt so drained every day, like, and every time my son would try to nurse, I would feel like he's just like draining me even more. Like
Mm.
such a like a dramatic feeling of just I'm being sucked dry.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was just so tiring.
Hmm.
Um, so I want to say I was like around 39-ish weeks, a little bit past that maybe.
Okay.
And I would have some contractions throughout the day. And like every time I would have one, I would just be like, yes, please be more intense. Like, I am so ready. Like, come on, come on, come on. I was just like asking for my body to like
Hmm.
more harder contractions. Like I felt so like I think the word I'm looking for is sadistic, but like I just
Okay.
wanted I was like painful, please. I know that means it's the end.
Yeah.
I'm like I need it to hurt at least a little so I know that, you're
Hmm.
coming, come on out, please. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, so a few days of that happened where it was like, a good couple of strong ones. And I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Soon I was like, oh, one of them happened when we had like steps that go up and they had like a little landing and then they went up the other side.
Hmm.
And like I had one of those like pretty strong ones, like starting to go up the steps. And then I like stopped on the landing and I was like, oh, yeah, come on, it could be the day. Like I was just so like, okay, I need to give birth like now. Now
Hmm.
nice. Um so sometime I think it was like a couple days of just me kind of begging my body to, you can come out now. And then one evening, my husband was supposed to be going in to a night shift, an
Okay.
overnight shift.
Mm.
And so he was helping me get my oldest son ready for bed. So he has like his whole like nighttime routine,
Hmm.
which includes a, a bowel regimen, is what we will call
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So I normally am able to complete this whole regimen and routine with him, no
Mm.
problem. So it's like eight something, maybe almost nine. I'm gonna say eight something. No, close to nine. It was probably
Mhm.
close to 9 p.m. And I was having some of these contractions and I was like, oh, but they're just not that strong. Like
Mm.
to be stronger, right? And they weren't close. They were like maybe one every 10-ish minutes from
Mhm.
like dinner time or something.
they were there, but
Yeah.
they weren't making me stop.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't stopping me from doing anything. So obviously it's no big deal. And I start, helping him with his thing. And I told my husband, I was like, you get the birth pool set up just in case, stuff starts to happen while you're at work.
Yep.
It can be like kind of ready to go.
Mm.
So he's like getting that set up and keep coming in to the boys' bathroom to check on me. Like, are you good? You got this? And I'm like, I got this. Until I didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of like squatting down and getting back up and squatting down and getting back up. And I don't know if that like just helped everything go faster. um, but I was trying to finish up and I just kept having to like stop and breathe. And I was like, okay, okay, okay. I don't know. And he's like, do I need to call off work? And I'm like, how long do you have like before I can call it? And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
you have till 10 or 10:30. I forget which one he said, but you had to tell me before 10 or 10:30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, okay, okay. I don't know. Like it could stop, right? All of this could just stop. I was like really talking myself out of it.
Yeah.
Because I was not convinced that it was the real deal. I was like, this
Mm-hmm.
is not painful enough. Like I know it's supposed to like, I'm supposed to feel it. I'm supposed to have to
Mm-hmm.
really focus and zone out, right? Like at least for a little while.
Yeah.
um, but then he kind of took over my older son's routine, and he was like, "Go do your thing that you do in the bathroom." In the bathroom during your labor. He's like, "There's no way I'm going to work." Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like stopped the third or fourth time. He was like, "Okay, I'm not going to work. Like, go ahead. I'll finish getting the boys ready for bed or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
I actually went and nursed my middle son to sleep in the guest room
Mm-hmm.
so that he could, you know, stay asleep, hopefully. Um, and then I went into my shower and did my thing on the bird book again. I was like, this worked last time.
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So I did that. This time I had like a lot of times where I felt like I had to sit on the toilet and poop.
Okay.
I'm not I don't remember if I actually pooped a lot or if I just felt like I had to sit on the toilet and poop a lot. Um, so I kept getting out and going on, sitting on the toilet, sitting back on the birth pool, waiting for the water to fill up. This time I asked him to set up one of our phones in a corner somewhere where I couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and hopefully we could get it on video because I really wanted to see what I did,
Okay.
especially after feeling that way in the pool. Like I was swimming and he was like, you didn't look like you were flailing or swimming. Like, and so he was able to set it up, and it's so funny to watch back because I just see him like getting everything ready. He's like folding towels on the bed, like trying to make it all look perfect, and then he's just like walking in the bathroom to check on me, walking back out to kind of check on things with the pool, and it's like he's just listening to music and dancing, like bopping his way along, like
Aw.
okay, like
Aw. He's so
it's just
chill.
so funny to me how light it
Mm-hmm.
feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like intense or heavy. Like the whole energy just feels
Yeah.
very light and fun in a
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah.
And then I would come out of the bathroom to try and get in the birth pool a little bit, but then I would like stop, get down on my knees and do like all these different arches, and I was I was dancing a dance with my daughter. It
Mm-hmm.
was definitely it was quite the dance is
Yeah.
what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah.
Lots of arching. Now did it switch to my sure. I was like, I can hear you kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I would come out of the bathroom and like feel a contraction, drop
Mm.
down kind of on my knees and like start arching my back or up
Mm-hmm.
against the wall, kneeling on my knees, but like my head was up against the wall and I'm like arching and
Mm.
gyrating my hips all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of ways. And I think this time the music was it was more like I don't know, like smooth and soulful,
Okay.
less lyrical. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it was nice.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got in the birth pool after doing that a couple times, like the walking and dropping down and dancing with my baby.
Yeah.
um, and then I got in and I had like a really hard contraction and then a song came on that I was like, no, 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 change that, change that. I don't want to hear that right now. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a Mary J. Blige song. It was just
Okay.
like a very intense, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no, 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 not that. And then we had like a long pause.
Okay.
It was like a time of just like sitting there and talking, and I was just sitting back, like leaned up against the birth pool, holding my belly
Yeah.
and just talking and laughing. I don't know what we were talking about. And then the good drivers came back like, okay, here we're here, okay, we're back.
They're
Um,
ready.
yeah, it's like
Mm-hmm.
time to get her out. Um, and I just told my husband like, oh my gosh, it's just so intense this time. And he's like, you said the same exact thing last time. I was like, oh, okay. Well, this time it's really intense, and I guess it is just that intense. And I don't know what I was just rambling on, and
Mm-hmm.
same position. He was just sitting up. It was almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
Um, except this time I didn't reach down to try and check myself.
Okay.
It was just like a little bit of moving my hips
Yeah.
in the water, and I felt the water, her water break in the water. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that was the water. That means she's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then she came out, and then like as soon as her head was coming out, this time I kicked one of my legs up
Okay.
to like stabilize myself a little bit. I don't know, because I wasn't gripping the side of the tub as tightly as I did the first time
Mm-hmm.
when I was like biting on it. um, and so I kicked up my left leg, and then she just kind of like slithered out, and I pulled her up, and I just was so caught off guard by how one, small she was,
Okay.
and then two, she was so dark. She was so much darker than my boys, and I was just like, who is this? I was not expecting it. She was my smallest. She was
Yeah.
7 pounds even. The
Okay.
boy the boys were both um one was almost 8 pounds, the other was almost 9 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So she was just 7 pounds exactly, and just
Mm.
little and dark skin and dark hair, and like so intense. Her eyes were wide open, just
Mm-hmm.
looking at me like, hi. And I was just
Mm-hmm.
like, what?
Aw.
It was I was so taken aback because I just had the expectation of everything being exactly the same, and the
Mm-hmm.
labor felt the same,
Mm-hmm.
and then I see her and I was like, you're so different and you're a girl. And it
Yeah.
was so beautiful, but also, I mean, I was just like, what in the world?
Wow.
I already did not expect this. Like, I just did not expect you to be who you are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, hi.
Oh, I
A
love
surprise.
that.
It felt like a surprise. Yeah, it felt like a surprise in like a different way than the gender
Yeah.
surprise.
Right, right, right.
Like, okay, it's a boy or it's a girl. And it's like, I knew she was a girl, but like, surprise.
Yeah, here she
I'm
is.
everything. I'm everything different than you ever knew you needed.
Yeah.
Um,
Aw.
so she she was here. She was born. It
Mm.
was just a lot of the same. Her placenta did not want to exit my body.
Oh, really?
Um, I mean, immediately contractions just stopped. I just hung out with her in the pool for at least 45 minutes to an hour, just sitting, enjoying her, but also recognizing that like I should be feeling something and I'm
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
Um, and so I think at like the 40-ish minute mark, I asked my husband like for some tinctures to kind of get some contractions going.
Okay.
Um, I wasn't gonna rush it out, but also I was just like, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see if the tinctures help. And I was just nursing her in there, and nothing was happening. And I was just like, okay, what do I want to do? I want to get out of this birth pool. I'm tired. This one was later in the evening. Like she was
Mm-hmm.
born at like 11 something at night.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so like 2 hours ish after everything
Mm-hmm.
started. It was just late, and I was just tired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, I want to get out. I want to get all this done. And I think I don't know if we no, we didn't cut the cord, but I think I handed him to her so that I could try and like get on my feet
Okay.
in in the birth pool, like try to like stand up or squat down a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
you know, instead of being on my knees. Um, and I took a good bit of some, I want to say Angelica,
Mm.
and I think it helped some contractions come back.
Okay.
I don't know. I hesitate to say like if it really did or if it was just
Mm-hmm.
going to happen anyway.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
um, but with standing up and like trying to move a little bit, move around, um, I was able to then like push and bear down a little, and
Okay.
it came out.
Okay.
But it just felt like it was going to be in there for a while. I don't know why it felt so much longer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because the first one obviously was in the hospital. The second one came out within like 15, 20 minutes right after, it felt like. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know, it was at the 40-minute mark, I was just like, okay, I guess it's just gonna
Ready.
be in here.
Yeah.
um yeah, so the placenta came out then. Everything was fine. I did tear on
Okay.
that side. The side that I lifted my leg up is the side that
Uh,
I had a little, I would say second degree tear.
okay.
Definitely not a first degree. Definitely not a third degree. I was like somewhere
Yeah.
around. Yeah, it wasn't scary, but it wasn't like it was obvious. Like it,
Mm.
it was there.
Yeah.
Um, and so I had with like the next day or so, I had my husband get some seaweed and honey
Okay. Yeah.
to try and like help keep it closed and
Mm-hmm.
clean.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I told him, I was like, well, I'm gonna have to keep my legs closed for like, I don't know, weeks and weeks and
Mm-hmm.
weeks. I don't know how long it's gonna take. But I just know that's what you're supposed to do is just keep your legs closed
Yeah.
as much as possible and try not to put pressure on it. Well, um, at 10 days postpartum, my older son came home with COVID,
Oh, okay.
and from his school, we were pretty positive that's what it was because his teacher sent a message that all of the teachers in his class had tested themselves for it, and so I was
Okay.
like, okay, so he was sick, then we all got then we all got sick except
Right.
for the two babies.
Yeah.
And so coughing
Mm-hmm.
after that early postpartum, I think that was torture. That was
Oh.
actual, like, it felt so terrible every time I coughed. Yeah, it was rough. My husband was not well either.
Mm.
He was just trying to take care of the boys the
Yeah.
best he could
Oh
while being
gosh.
like wrapped up in a burrito blanket on
Oh.
my oldest son's floor, just trying to be in there with them. We ordered a lot of delivered food during that time. Just
Mm-hmm.
like from anywhere that had like stews and soups, like Indian food, and that's all I remember. I'm like, I was just looking for like comfort and warmth in
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah,
So
that would be tricky to have to navigate just giving birth, having a tear, having this sickness that you can't control the coughing that you're just going through. Like, oof, yeah.
yeah, it was. I would say the coughing was probably the worst, just because it put so much pressure
Yeah.
downward, and I just could
Yeah.
not control it. Um, and so her postpartum was
Mm,
not the bliss of my
the second. Yeah.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
what
you
I was
eat the
expecting
placenta?
to just do it all the same.
Mm,
I did. I
you
did
did,
still.
yeah.
I consume my placenta in the same way.
Okay, yeah.
Just I would say less quickly because he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't making as many.
Yeah.
He was pretty like sick himself. So,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
but I definitely consumed it.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually,
Yeah. Yeah. And
just
how was your
definitely not as quickly.
right? Yeah. And how was your breastfeeding journey with your daughter? Was it less, excuse me, less painful or still had the same kind of issues to work out?
Hers was worse. Um,
Oh, okay.
her tongue tie was very obvious and very tight. I mean, she
Mm,
could barely move her tongue.
mm,
So at I don't know, whenever we got over the sickness, we went and we ended up getting hers cut
okay.
uh, to be released because I I knew that like she was spitting up so much, like she
Yeah.
had so much trouble with
Mm-hmm.
nursing. It hurt me less, but I
Mm,
knew she was getting like the issues associated with it.
yeah.
Um, because I mean, she would seem okay, but then she would just like spit up a ton, and be
Mm,
uncomfortable
yeah.
for like an
Okay.
hour, after eating. She just was like so
Oh.
uncomfortable with like gas and,
Mm-hmm. Oh.
reflux, I'm assuming is
Yeah.
what she was dealing with. Um, yeah, so we we did get hers cut to be
Mm-hmm.
released.
Okay.
Um, and then everything
Mhm.
was good.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. Everything was
Yeah.
great. Her brother, my middle son, continued nursing. I was
Okay.
tandem nursing them with
Oh, wow.
this sickness. It was, yeah.
Wow. What an
But
experience.
we got through it. He
Mm-hmm.
was so happy to have his milk back,
Yeah.
obviously. And yeah, I nursed both of them. He didn't stop nursing until he was about to turn 3, and then
Okay.
she just recently stopped nursing and she's about to turn 3. So
Wow.
even though we had a lot of troubles with both of them in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
breastfeeding, um, it ended up still being,
Mm-hmm.
sustainable long term.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I love that. Wow.
Yeah, I
Wow.
always try and uh, support people like that. Like, it might be hard at first, but
Mm-hmm.
if you can push through,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just keep trying, a lot of times you'll figure out what works for you and you'll still be able to nurse. But I
Mm-hmm.
think I think sometimes, people give up a little bit too early.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's true. And probably
and then
because they
they,
don't have that support either,
yeah,
which is
I guess,
unfortunate.
yeah, the support, and also like, I will give myself credit because part of my mindset was like, this is the only option. So we got to
Mm,
figure it out.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I just never really viewed, um, other things as options
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So that's my two free births within 2 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Uh,
I love it. I mean, your stories, just like you said about the first one, they're just very, like the first one was very boring. And this one also just seems, like uneventful. You just didn't really think you were in your birth processes started trying to take care of your one kid, and then your
yeah.
your partner's just like, yeah, I think things are happening, so maybe just take care of yourself. And then it's like, oh, 2 hours later, there's your baby. You just,
Yeah.
again births her, and there's no like craziness, commotion, all of this. Yeah, it's just very, very simple. That you
Yes.
did it, and you just knew you could. Your husband was very supportive and was just kind of like, yeah, you can do it, so just take care of yourself and do it. And then you just again birthed your baby. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah. I
yeah.
I definitely love that I can confidently say, like, birth can be so simple. It
Hmm.
can literally be another day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I that is forever going to be my like
Hmm.
message to anybody. Like,
Yeah.
it can just be a simple normal day,
Yeah.
and you give birth to your baby, and it's that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
um
And I love that because everybody, most people that are planning, even home births with medical midwives, or they're planning their births in the hospitals or births in the birth centers. There's so much that goes into it, and it's so complex, and there's like this, and my doctor says I can't do that, and I'm not allowed to do this, and like all of these things that just make it so freaking complex. But if you just strip all that away, like you're saying, it can just be any other day, You're home, cook some
yeah.
dinner, have a baby, everybody goes to bed, you wake
Go
up
to
the next
bed.
morning. Yeah, and then you just like wake up the next morning, and like some things have to shift because there's a new baby in the family, but that's it. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
so complex.
Yeah, and I this well, last year I supported a free birth
Hmm.
um as a doula,
Yeah.
and it wasn't my first free birth that I supported, but it
Yeah.
was the first one back after having my own free
Okay.
birth.
Mm.
And hers was exactly the same.
Mm.
And I go, "Oh, more confirmation that it is true."
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And so this year I've supported one hospital birth,
Okay.
and just getting back into it, and witnessing a woman arrive at the hospital, spend less than an hour and doing the triage thing,
Mm.
into the room, birth her baby right there on the bed before anything is hooked up or anything. She got on her hands and knees on the bed, and her baby's there. And then the medical staff try and take over
Mm.
postpartum,
Yeah.
and then um, the resident forcing her placenta out, and then
Oh.
the nurse concerned that now she has postpartum hemorrhage and she's bleeding. This is a lot more bleeding than I usually see. And I'm like, well, usually you have people on pitocin, so
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot more. And like,
Yeah.
and in my mind, I'm just like, oh, this is so unnecessary. And I was
Yeah.
like telling my client, like, just tell her to stop. Tell her to stop
Yeah.
with the fun massage. Tell her you don't want it. Tell her
Yeah.
you have no interest in it. You'll deal with your clots if you have them. Like,
Yeah.
you know, just tell her to stop. And they
Yeah.
literally like, it's just like all of that was just so unnecessary. And I
Mm-hmm.
know it. I
Yeah.
know it in my core. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
know it in all of my being that this is just unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I knew it before, but like I
Yeah,
know it even more now.
totally. Yeah. Yeah.
I know how little you actually have to do
Yeah.
to be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the way I operate as a doula now and,
Yeah.
supporting women. I'm just like, okay, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
shifts have to be made or something.
Totally. And it's like, because you not only do you work in a way that supports women to birth in their power and, completely in this really natural physiologic way, but you've experienced it twice. So it is so hard witnessing all of this unnecessary, like this woman punching on this woman who just birthed her uterus and then being like, oh, there's so much blood, where's this coming from? And it's like,
You did it,
hello, you did this.
literally.
You are causing this problem that is happening with this woman. But if you just
Yeah,
left her alone, she would have been completely fine. And it's one of those things like once you're in this world and you understand the physiologic birth process, or you personally experience just how simple and how hands off it can truly be, it's like going into that other world. It's like, is everybody mad? Has everyone just lost their minds right now? Oh.
they they have. That's what
Mhm.
they actually have. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um.
Yeah.
So it is an interesting mindset
Mhm.
game I
Yeah.
have I find myself playing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long I'll continue to play it, but
Yeah.
because I'm just like, it doesn't have to be this way. And
Mhm.
I don't know what I need to say or could possibly say to convince you to not sign up for the torture.
Mhm. Right. And that's
Because
the thing
you
though.
voluntarily go in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
you you sign up for it. You have to also like take responsibility that you are choosing this path, even though
Mhm.
there is somebody who is telling you it doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, for me, I don't
Mhm.
know how long I will
Yeah.
continue to play the game in my
Mhm.
mind of the back and forth,
Yeah.
um, or trying to be supportive, but it is so hard.
Mhm.
It is
Yeah.
it is very hard to
Yeah.
listen to somebody explain or to witness. Um, yeah,
Mhm.
so
Yeah. No, I totally get
it,
it.
yeah,
But it's, just beautiful hearing beautiful stories like this, having you share your experience is is like it's so wonderful because now there will be someone that hears this and is like, oh, okay, I do have another choice. Because most women don't think they have these other options or choices for how they
yeah,
want to have their birth experience, or they think it's not for me because I'm not this or I'm not that or whatever. And it's like, no, birthing in this way is for every woman because you are a woman and you have a uterus and your body is completely designed for this. So,
yeah.
yeah, it's like just living in your truth, you specifically, and knowing, through your experiential knowledge, your gained wisdom and knowledge of having people see that, hear your story. It's powerful. It's like the story
It's
medicine. It's powerful.
Yes, and it is absolutely something I intend to continue to just share
Mhm.
everywhere and anywhere because I'm
Yeah.
just like you can never say nobody told you.
Exactly.
I'm not gatekeeping anything over here. Like you
Yeah.
can have like the easiest day of birth
Yeah,
if you want it.
absolutely. Yeah.
um that's
Yeah.
I'm hopefully that would be my goal is that like the people who are open to it actually have somebody
Hmm.
who is telling them,
Yep.
yes, this is a possibility. Yes, I did it. I did
Yeah.
it twice. Yes.
Yeah.
If I have another baby, I'll do it again.
Beautiful. Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
I supported other people do it. I know it's real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Oh, yeah. Alia, thank you so much. I'm just so grateful to have heard your stories and just, yeah, how easy they were, it's just
Yeah, thank
for,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really grateful and I can't wait to share these stories because they're important to be heard, not only just for me, but for all of the other women that will listen to these stories. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to share this with me. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to spread the word
Yeah. Excellent.
and
Oh,
share and share and
mm-hmm.
share
Mm-hmm.
all always sharing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And if any woman wanted to reach out to you to speak to you about your birth experiences, is there a way that they can do that and connect with you?
Yes, there are two ways. On Instagram, I am at Alia, ALIA underscore um, DOES. It used to be Alia Doula, but I don't really love the word. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alia underscore does. And I do have a website that is under construction, but it is Alia. Oh, did it say Alia Wright? Alia, ALIA, right? WRIGHT.com.
Perfect. I will put all of
So
that
both of those
info. Yeah.
ways.
I'll put that info in the
Yeah,
show
thank
notes
you.
below. And again, thank you so much, Alia. This was so beautiful to speak with you today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, women, for listening to this latest episode of the Free Birthing in Color movement. If you want to continue supporting this movement and all that comes with it, please give a 5-star rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Like the videos on YouTube and share this episode with some of your friends. As reciprocity for the work that I'm doing and the content that I'm creating, it only takes 2 minutes to show your support through a 5-star rating, a small written review, and a share. If you want to give a monetary donation to help with the back-end costs of keeping everything that is happening within this movement going, you can send your donations through PayPal via the link in the show notes. And again, as reciprocity for the work that I'm doing and creating, I'm so grateful when those donations come through. All information can be found within the show notes below. I'll see you in the next episode.